Hey, what's up, fashion fam? It's your girl B from Be About Town, and today we are back because I want to discuss 3 fashion shopping tips that I absolutely live by. Fashion shopping tips that have saved me a ton of coins. But without further ado, we're going to get down to business because what you know, I don't believe in wasting anyone's time. Okay, to start, I want to say that typically I like to shop when the demand for whatever it is I'm shopping for is the lowest. However, I know that that is not always possible. Why? Because the new season comes in, trends are coming in also, and sometimes we want to participate in those trends, and the only way to do it is to purchase items in that season. So I understand that, but I do like to shop clearance a lot of the times. Now, I know that sometimes the word clearance has a negative connotation attached to it, right? When you hear clearance, you think clearance rack and you think maybe bargain bin, right? Discount store. And even though discount, bargain, those words I love, I absolutely sing to me. However, I know that the image people get in their heads is not always the most savory image. However, I'm going to stand on business and say you need to be on the lookout for clearance. And that doesn't mean you go for the clearance rack as in a discount store. That means that if you're shopping Saks, you're not just looking at a Saks off, you're looking at Saks. They're clearance items. Now, they're going to say sale on the website or in store. However, it is clearance for the most part. You're going to do Nordstrom rack, but also Nordstrom, and look at their clearance. In every other store, My Teresa, Essence, Farfetch, Ukes, you know I love me some Ukes. You're going to do a number. You're going to run the gamut to really find those pieces that maybe you missed or you haven't even, no idea that they were on sale to begin with. And a lot of times what I found, I will, go browsing on the interwebs at stores like a Nordstrom Rack or Saks Off, for an example, and they don't have the sale items that Saks themselves have. So you want to be on the lookout, really deeply on the lookout. And I mean like looking at these sale streets like you're supposed to, just to see what's out there before you invest in pieces at full price. And if you don't already have in mind what you want, that's a different story. If you already have in mind, I want X, Y, and Z jeans by X, Y, and Z designer, that's something totally different because you already have something in mind. Now, I still would advise you to look and see if you can find a cheaper price. However, that's not always possible. But what I'm speaking to when I say clearance rack is that maybe you want to do some summer shopping, maybe you want to do some winter shopping or some fall shopping, and you just want to pick up some items to kind of like, put with your already existing wardrobe. You want to do exactly what I recommended a moment ago and just check these sites first before you just go spending, money that you don't necessarily have to spend. I will also say clearance items are often stocked with good, very on brand, on trend items. Remember, a lot of department stores, like our internet stores too, our stores that are on the web, are continuously getting in clothing items. And sometimes before the season even begins. So it makes sense to look at these sites and look at their clearance, because as they're getting in new items, they're looking to put the new items out front, and the items that are still there, they're going to put on clearance because they don't have an abundance of space. Yes, we know they do have some storage space. But it does cost them to house these items. So they're going to put a lot of items, even current season items, on clearance. So again, check clearance first, okay? And don't just have, this negative image of clearance as in bargain basement clearance in mind when I say that, because that's not what I'm talking about. And I also want to say, if you see something on clearance and you can tell that it is an absolute steal, you want to pick it up, right? Because you don't want to wait too long, because the longer something is on clearance, the quicker it will go. Things run out quick. You don't want to be, mulling over it too long. I would say take this rule. If you see something on clearance and it's a steal and you absolutely have room for it and a need for it in your wardrobe, if you don't want to buy it in the moment, give yourself a day, 2 days at the most. And if by those 2 days you're like, I don't really need it, or you go back to your closet and you find that you have something you can use in place of that, then you're fine. But I say, if the item stays on your mind, right, long after you leave it, then that is a telltale sign that you need to go back to the clearance and pick it. Okay, so my second tip is seasonal sales. Now, I know a moment ago I said check the clearance rack, and I absolutely stand by that. However, I find that what really maximizes my shopping potential is seasonal sales. And some of you may be like, duh, girl, everybody does that. Not everybody does that correctly, right? Sometimes you don't wait until the actual season is done before you start shopping. It's Christmas season. If the season is not done, that's not when you're going to earn the biggest bang for your buck, right? If New Year's is not done, for example, that's not when you're going to earn the biggest bang for your buck. So I like to do seasonal shopping too. So, for example, after Thanksgiving, great for fall items. After Christmas and New Year's, great for winter items. And I've gotten some amazing coats shopping in that manner. Back to seasonal shopping. I know some people feel like off season is the better time to shop. So for example, I'm going to wait until summertime to buy something for the winter time. That's not always true, which is why my second tip is seasonal shopping, because sometimes winter items can be quite high in the summer months. And I'm going to tell you again, going back to an earlier point, these stores still have to house those items, and they want a return on investment. So they're going to upcharge a lot of items. You would say, who the hell's buying a wool coat during the hot summer months? People do shop during the summer months because there is an assumption that things are going to be cheaper, and it's not always true, which is why I stand on shopping at the end of season, because by that time a lot of these retailers feel like, people are done buying things, they're moving on to newer items. So that's where you're gonna find the lowest coats, lowest boots, lowest shoes at the end of the season, rather than reverse seasonal shopping. So when I say reverse seasonal shopping, I mean shopping for the winter and the summer, shopping for the summer and the winter. Shop instead end of season, unless a store is having a flash sale or a discount for a holiday like Memorial Day, which is coming up Monday, or Labor Day, or President's Day. You catch my drift. Then I would stick to end of season shopping. Again, I want to make it clear, no one is saying that is the only time you should shop, because I don't practice it. I'm just saying, if you want to really save a coin and you're not looking to buy something specific, as in the exact top you want from X, Y, or Z designer, these are some tips I absolutely stand by. Okay, my last tip is to use coupons. Use coupons, right? And that includes websites that offer cash back, like Rakuten. I've made a cute little coin using Rakuten. I've made such a cute coin using Rakuten that I make sure that I don't purchase anything unless I check to see if the store is on Rakuten's site to get cash back. Also, Retail Me Not and Price Grabber. Those are my 3 go-tos. If I don't just want cash back and I want to combine a coupon, because you can't combine Retail Me Not and Rakuten, but I have both of them as extensions on my browser just so I can compare the percentage off and the cash back. I might go to Coupon Cabin, but sometimes that is really a waste of time for me. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time. And I don't like wasting my time. But Rakuten is number 1 on my list. Retail Me Not is no joke either. I absolutely recommend using both of those sites. I will add that Google Shopping sometimes is helpful, but I find that my mainstay when it comes to cash back, other than like using my credit card where you naturally get cash back, is Rakuten. It's been like a lifesaver for me. I really appreciate it. They mail me checks all the time. So I absolutely love them. Anyway, I would recommend it, and I'll have my referral link down below in case you're interested. You don't have to. So I know some people feel funny about that, like, oh, you just want to make money off. I'm telling you, I've gotten checks for Rakuten, but you don't have to use my link. You can if you're feeling kind. You can use it as a referral so that I can get some kickback. If not, I still recommend it because it absolutely saves you a coin. And I've used it on a ton of things. And some of the times, depending on where you shop, some of these retailers have up to 15% cash back. I know at one point, Expedia was having about 10% cash back. And I booked like 3 separate stays out of town. Anything, child. If I'm buying something, I even have it on my phone. If I'm buying something like in the moment, I'll go right on my Rakuten app and purchase it that way. Anyhow, those are my 3 tips I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to share these 3 coats. Now, I know it's almost summer, but this is a point. I just purchased these a couple months back, but I feel like they're still available. I'm going to link them down below because, you know, I can start rambling and then never get to the point. And these magnificent prices. In fact, there was one coat, it was a little pissed that I kind of waited too long, which goes to my earlier point. Even if you're looking at clearance, don't wait too long. If you know something is a steal, a buy, and you can afford to buy it, because I'm not advocating irresponsible shopping, then absolutely get it. And I want to say, excuse my raspiness. I have a slight head cold, and it homegirl is trying to linger longer than, you know, she's outstayed her welcome, and I don't know why she's not leaving, but the show must go on. Anyhow, let me show you these coats because they're absolutely quality. Okay, that is all I have for you. We got to get out of here because the daylight is leaving us. Remember, when demand is lowest, so will be the pricing. Sales and discounts follow the season. And sites that give you cash back, baby, like Retail Me Not, and especially Rakuten, are well worth it. And some of these sites allow you to combine coupon codes. Not you using Retail Me Not and Rakuten at the same time, because you can't use, those things at the same time because they both give you cash back. But you can absolutely, in some cases, in most cases, I would say, in my experience, use a coupon code in addition to getting cash back. Okay, that is all I have for you today. Please remember to like, share, consider subscribing, especially if you've been here before. And until next time, as always, take great care. Bye, Fashion Fam.